Hey, welcome everyone to another week into 2022, right? We got another week going on, and going to be a one heck of a year when we do the right things. And right now, we know there is a need for additional cash flow. There's a lot of different levels of needs, wants, and desires for all of us, right? Some of us, I was thinking earlier this morning, I'm here in Thailand, and my name is Peter Stone. I'm the founder of Peter Stone Jewelry. Way back in the day, back in 1987. But I started that journey much earlier. I started that journey back in 1983, unknowingly that it was going to turn into Peter Stone Jewelry. So the reason I tell you that it started so long ago is that we have gone through every single trial and tribulation that every other company has. But I will tell you right now, there's a lot of companies. Matter of fact, two of the companies I idolized when I first started or were my models, they're long gone. One inspired me so much on the beautiful band rings that we have. I said, I'll make them better. I'll make them more beautiful. And they only had a limited design range of probably 18 gorgeous, beautiful designs. And they were in the southwestern part of the United States, and they just inspired me because back then, people did not make beautiful, seamless, like off the jeweler bench, handmade jewelry band rings, but Peter Stone did. And it cost me a lot more in time, effort, and money to do that. But today we have mastered that. And our rings, our band rings, are just gorgeous along with the rest of our jewelry. We have a process to make. It takes a lot of work. Let me just tell you, it takes a lot of work, just like a jeweler making every single ring for you and for your customer. So, what does that mean in 2022? That means it is a huge edge to get exponential growth, but you've got to wake up your customers and clients and people that come to your website and show them and tell them and let them know what is the difference, whether you're online, in trade fairs, doing festivals, or have a fixed store, a brick and mortar store. It doesn't really matter what platform you have, but I suggest if you do fairs and festivals that you also have an online presence. If you have a store, a fixed store, brick and mortar, you also have an online presence. Gives you an edge. So I would tell people up in New England, I said, look, you've got a seasonal business out on the seacoast. I loved going out on Cape Cod down to Rhode Island, Connecticut. I mean, it's just beautiful in the summertime, not in the wintertime. And a lot of people had the same mindset, have still. People aren't going out to Martha's Vineyard or down to the Cape in the wintertime. Very few people, maybe a couple of artists, because they want peace and quiet. But that's the point, peace and quiet, no business. So what do? You keep in touch with the customers that you met in the summertime. And if you're only online, then you need to show up different because everyone is looking kind of similar these days. Yeah, you got a vibe, you got a buzz, and we all have our niche market and our followers, if you will, on social media. And that is where the power is. Yesterday, I just got a message in my Skype, actually. We got our 2022 assay certificate. And as I have been saying since the beginning, when I discovered in 1996 that we actually had too much silver in our jewelry. We had 96% plus silver in our sterling silver, and the requirement is 92.5%. And people would tell me they saw our jewelry in New York at the trade show, and they go, "Oh, someone's selling your jewelry, Peter." It was one of our customers, and he had a lot of band rings. And I didn't know at the time because I didn't do the assays. And they said, your jewelry is just shiny and more beautiful than the rest. And I'm like, please, that's nice to hear, but, putting it up. And I took the compliment, but I didn't understand it. And I mean, I thought it was the same. I honestly thought it was the same back then. And then when we did a first meltdown of my mistakes in making jewelry and turning it back into silver, we do that for our customers. If you have something that won't sell, you can send it to us. We'll credit you, and then we'll melt it down and turn it back into raw silver, recast it, and turn it into new jewelry. This is part of our suite of services. So when I did that for the first time and they melted that silver down, I found out the silver was 96+% pure. So I had to cut back because I was using 1/4 of a ton more silver a year because we're just pumping out so much beautiful jewelry. The demand was just growing. And it can be with you going into 2022. Look, I have no other words other than the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the past. The proof is that we are here today. We have more designs than ever. We have more beautiful designs than ever. And to go into and do exponential growth, 3 things. You got to show up different. You have on your website or in your store, you can show up different. There's a link here. Please click on the link and subscribe. I've got a lot of videos on this subject. You really only need to understand one. But for me, I need to be told 5, 6, 7 times to really get it. And I'm like, yeah, this is right. Some people, they get it right away. They go, they have really good business logic. They understand. They're willing to try new things. And today, if you're not willing to try new things, I will tell you, you will be getting like the seagulls fighting, 200 seagulls on the beach, fighting for the scraps of one fish that floats up on the beach. Or you grow exponentially and you be like that one seagull out at sea, riding on the back of the whale and waiting for the fresh flying fish, schools of fish. And you live in a world of abundance, not lack. And you grow your business with that mindset because when you engage and you find out really what Peter Stone has, what Peter Stone has done, what Peter Stone does. I was just speaking with a potential new distributor in Norway, and his son, a business owner, he's got many businesses, and his wife. And we spent several days together out in the jet ski, doing business, dining, beautiful Norwegian salmon, and the list goes on. So we were still having great exchanges. And he's a smart guy, and he understood that what we've got is different than what's out in the marketplace. And you have to understand that. Most importantly, you don't even have to understand it. What you have to do is you have to act on it. If you want to prosper, if you want exponential growth, if you want to take off in 2022, because last year, and and the latter part of 2020, jewelry sales have done nothing but go up. Now, three things, okay? If you're new to business, you maybe want to start with an affiliate program and test that out. But if you're aggressive, you want to get a website and do drop shipping and affiliate. Or if you got some cash, you want to get into business and let us help you turnkey. The Peter Stone Jewelry Institute will launch this quarter, first quarter in 2022, and you will have a database of resources for people that engage, people that want more. If you're afraid, come and get some courage, okay? Come and get some courage and overcome the fear in the thinking. What if? Oh my God! What if that doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? Okay, I'll tell you what if doesn't work. Just take a look at Elon Musk. I'm not going to go into my stories. I've had thousands of things that haven't worked, and a few really good ones that have. You go ask Elon Musk. It's the same thing. You try. It blows up, literally. In his case, it literally blew up. And then it blew up again. And Branson, it blew up. They blew up. But what did they do? You got this mindset, right? This is the success mindset. At any level, all they were is just people that were fascinated by what the possibilities are. And you'll never know the possibilities if you sit there and just keep looking at all the losers online, because they're not making money. They're paying the bills. And there's a few that are. I'm not saying all of them. I mean, it's just such scammers out there these days. You stand above, you'll get the business. When you work from your core and you are transparent, translucent, and you are fair in all you do, which is kind of a hard thing to do these days. There's people that talk it. Some walk it and some act it. So here at Peter Stone, we have worked hard for you, and it's your turn to take the benefits of our efforts of 36 years and use them, because our company here in Thailand turned, maybe 32. And it was 91. So I guess it's 31 years on January 13th, 1991 is when we registered our Thailand company. But Peter Stone USA started in 1987. Headaches, challenges. How many times did I want to quit? Too many. But short thoughts, some long thoughts, some thinking, wow, this is tough. This is really tough. Importing, making jewelry, wholesaling it, retailing it, opening retail stores, online stores, everything new. I didn't know anything about it. But you know how I learned? I learned, well, by listening to other smart people that did what I wanted to do. That's why I refer to those companies that inspired me way back in the 80s and early 90s. They were my mentors, and a bunch of other people that motivated me deep within to take action. And I just had to follow. I had to do what they said. They said, do this, try this. Do this, try this. If it worked for you, if you do, and it didn't work, then you got to try it and do it a different way. That's all. The law of success is persistence. Success equals persistence. That's it. But you got to stack your successes, stack them, do more of the same things that work. If you have jewelry online, or if you have a store online and part of it's jewelry, and you compare maybe Peter Stone with somebody else, and maybe Peter Stone with some clothing, or Peter Stone with business cards, the jewelry aspect of it. What are people looking at? I'm not going to go into this. I apologize. I get a little deep at times, but I get excited because the opportunity is so real. And I can just tell you what I've seen, the change from the 2020 gut-wrenching struggles that somebody shut down their businesses. Peter, we got to close our 3,500 square foot store. What are we going to do? We have to go online. Well, she called us and made the call, made the change. So whatever it takes is the name of the game. Whatever it takes. If you really want to live your own life in your own way, we do things that others prescribe, and we succeed and we move forward. That's why there's so many cool books. You read books about people and philosophies and actions and things that people have done, and you try the same, but you do it in your way. You don't copy what I do, or I don't copy what others do. I'll be inspired, and I define it into my core and my center. And that's why it's successful, because I didn't do it their way. I did some of the things that are actions and moves and ways of doing it. It's a structure, maybe even a plan, but not the exact same thing. Because when you try to do the exact same thing, it becomes very tough and brittle. And you're just copying somebody. That's not even a good way to do business. You need to do it from your heart, your energy, what excuse me, turns you on, essentially the vibes that you like. That's why we have 43 plus niche jewelry markets. So you find what it is that you're passionate about, and that is the kick start to an exponential growth. Take a little time, step back, review your goals. If you don't have goals for 2022, get them. You can go out a year, you can go out 2, you can go out 3 if you want, but you know what you got to do? You got to do this week, you got to do this day. So this is Peter Stone saying thanks, and let's make 2022. You have, even if you have your goals written down, let's double those numbers if you've got sales goals. I say be realistic, expect the best to happen, and it does. Be realistic, expect miracles every minute of every day, actually. They're there for you. So get them, demand them, ask for them. It's your human right here on this planet to get the gifts that are all around us, all in front of us, everywhere. They're ours. And when we think, oh no, we shouldn't, you should have them. You must have them. Hop on board for the Peter Stone Jewelry Journey in 2022, and let's get you into doing exponential growth. Thanks. I'll see you next time around. I'll see you on Monday.